As Greta Thunberg said about her country, Switzerland, we're just a small country. What can we do? We can say that about Hawaii, but Hawaii has a role to play in being a leader and spreading ideas around the world. We've seen that with hula, with surfing, with the concept of aloha, with music. We lead the world in many ways. We have a special role to play in the establishment of electric vehicles because we have shorter distances to drive. We have solar all year that we can charge our cars or get electricity to the grid without fossil fuels. We're the richest state in the richest country. So we have a role to play, but now we're going to put the brakes on supporting the transition. Now that we have 2.5% of our cars are electric vehicles and almost 4% are hybrids, we're going to put the brakes because road fees are more important than climate change. It's been said that electric vehicles need to pay their fair share because they're so heavy and they do damage to the roads. Electric vehicle is lighter than the average SUV. It's much lighter than an empty pickup truck. And road damage, it has an exponential relationship to the weight of a vehicle. 90% of the damage to a road comes from the heaviest truck that goes down it that day. 9% comes from the second heaviest vehicle that goes down it. And 1% comes from all the other vehicles put together. It's not a good reason to do this. This is not about my car. You know, I have an electric vehicle, yes. I've also got a pickup truck on the Big Island. I'm going to buy another electric vehicle anyway, even if you're penalizing me for it. But it's not about my car. You know, I had a Nissan Leaf for 3 years, and when the lease was up, the new Leafs came out with double the range. So last year I bought my second Leaf. You might say I turned over a new leaf. Now, I realize that most of you folks today are not going to change your vote based on what I say today. But I'm asking you that next time we're faced with a decision on whether to take action on the greatest crisis facing our generation or not, that you turn over a new leaf and prioritize climate change as a matter of public policy. And I ask you to hear this tiny voice from your future. Daddy, Grandma, after you learned that our planet was dying from burning fossil fuels, you did everything you could to save it, didn't you? I know you wouldn't let my planet die after you knew how important it was. I know you did everything you could to leave me a healthy world. I know you wouldn't put anything ahead of this. Right, Mommy? Didn't you, Daddy? Grandma? Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Ruderman. Further discussion, Senator Inouye.
Thank you, Mr. President and colleagues. I rise in support of this measure.
Please proceed.
Though I agree that we are changing our method of transportation throughout the state, however, the increase in $15, I believe, is not too much of an increase considering the cost of the car. Grandma, daughter, son, wife, husband, I believe would continue to say, why are there so many potholes on our roads? And just to let you know, Mr. President, my car is just a gas car, is 5 years old. And let me tell you, I paid $1,400 because of the damages to the shocks and whatever it is. And that means that our roads need to be fixed. And I believe our vehicles, our hybrids, must pay their fair share, since we all seemed not to have an increase in our gas taxes these last couple of years. So I believe that $15 is not too much of a big deal. Mahalo.